friends, and welcome back to Journey to a Joyful Life. Today, I want to talk about something that might surprise you when it comes to joy: giving. So often, we think about joy as something we receive, something that comes from the right circumstances, the right experiences, and the right outcomes. I'll be happy when this happens. But I've learned over time, and what research actually supports, is that some of the deepest, most meaningful joy in our lives comes from what we give. And today, I wanted to share a personal story and share with you how that really shaped how I see joy and connection and even the direction that my life has taken. So, it's a story from when I was in high school, and it's one that I've just never forgotten. When I was in high school, as a freshman, I joined the Anchor Club, which is a service club. And I have to confess, it didn't come from some benevolent, intrinsic motivation on my part. It was my mom's encouragement that doing community service and volunteer work would look good on a college application. So that was my original motivation for joining Anchor Club. And it felt like something I should do. So I did it. It wasn't this big, noble calling at first. Very quickly, something happened. I really enjoyed the volunteer activities that I was doing. It didn't feel like it was a task to check off a list anymore. It actually started to feel meaningful and started to evolve into a sense of purpose in my life. Subtle joys started to appear, whether it was through connections I was making, that sense of purpose I was just speaking about, or a sense of fulfillment that I was receiving from the work that I was doing. And I want to share with you one particular story that really stuck out to me and happened, I think I was a freshman, I might have been a sophomore. But we were volunteering to take a group of fellow students to a local zoo. And the student that I was assigned to happened to be in a wheelchair, and she was also blind, and she was also deaf. And initially, I was really overwhelmed and concerned about how am I going to connect with her? What is this experience going to be like for her if she can't see or hear things? And I felt really uncertain and kind of overwhelmed with this responsibility to make this experience positive for her. And then I started to notice a shift in my thinking as we strolled through the zoo. I thought to myself, if she can't see and she can't hear, how can she experience this? And so I started focusing on things she might be able to feel. So anytime there was a texture that she could interact with, or something she could touch, some kind of sensory experience, I would help to support her in finding that opportunity. And I would guide her hands along. I would try to help her feel something new that maybe she hadn't felt before. I will never forget her reaction. When she would touch something new, she would just light up, and her smile, even the memory of it is still really powerful for me. How grateful and happy she was, and how I felt this really meaningful connection with her through this very simple experience. What this taught me was that connection doesn't require words. It doesn't require big gestures or big moments. Joy can be created simply through being present and paying attention and caring about someone else and their experience of the world. It was such a simple moment, but it's really stayed with me over the years. So I've continued to do activities of service and volunteering throughout my life. In college, I joined an honors sorority that had a really heavy emphasis on giving back and community service. And it turned from this external motivating thing into something that's really become part of something that's important to me intrinsically. It's influenced the things that I value in my life, the things that I'm grateful for that I might otherwise take for granted. It's influenced my perspective on people's experiences of the world, and it's also influenced my career path. I really find that this experience and these experiences have influenced me to want to focus on how do we provide enriching education for everyone in this world, and how do we make sure that everyone has the best experience and the best learning opportunities that are possible for their unique needs. It has inspired me to do work that tries to help people feel seen and feel supported in the world. And research backs up all the things that I'm talking about. So, research shows us that giving increases happiness and well being, and it strengthens connections between people, and it builds purpose. Even children that have been studied cross culturally find that they are happier when they are giving and helping others. We are wired for this. This is part of how we are designed as human beings, to find meaning, connection, and purpose in giving to others. Like I said before, it doesn't need to be a huge gesture. You don't need some dramatic big opportunity. Joy can be found in very simple acts of giving. Something small, something every day. So checking in on someone, sending someone a text message to just say, "Hi, I was thinking of you. How are you?" Maybe helping a neighbor if you see them working on a project. Offering your time. Sharing something meaningful that you've learned or something that's important to you. It's not about how big the act is. It's about how present you are. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Joy isn't something we find. It's something we create. And one of the most powerful ways to create it is by showing up for other people in small, meaningful, and human ways. That moment at the zoo stayed with me because it reminded me that connection doesn't require perfection. It just requires presence. If this message is resonating with you in any way, please give this video a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and maybe share it with someone who might need a little reminder that joy can be found in giving to others. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small way you can give back this week? Until next time, friends, keep discovering joy, not just in what you receive, but in what you give.